Hi everyone, I'm Tanaaz from foreverconscious.com and this is your weekly energy forecast for the week of April 14th. So we are still very much working with the energies of that Aries solar eclipse. I'm sure as many of you probably know, we had a solar eclipse on April 8th. There was a little confusion around this eclipse in that some people were like, oh, well, when's the new moon? Well, the solar eclipse is the new moon. You can think of it as a heightened new moon. The same cosmic lineup is happening with the sun and moon coming together. That's what happens on a new moon. However, this time we had the shadow of the earth getting in between our new moon experience. So solar eclipse is essentially a new moon, and that's why you might hear people call it a new moon solar eclipse. So this is our beginning of the lunar cycle, and because it's an eclipse, it's heightened, it's amplified. You can think of a solar eclipse as a new moon times 100. So a very, very bright new beginning came for us last week. And maybe you are not feeling that yet, and that is very, very normal. Maybe there has been a lot of change or transformation happening in your life. Maybe you want change and transformation to happen in your life and nothing seems to have come about. Maybe you're just feeling tired and you don't want any change or transformation. You just want things to settle down and be easy and gentle. That is all very normal at a time like this, too. Eclipses tend to bring transformation and transition into our lives, and that can be on an external level, an internal level, usually both. And sometimes we have to wait for the dust to settle to see where we have landed. If we think of this solar eclipse as the planting of the seed is planted, it's buried. We maybe know it's there, but other than that, there's nothing else we can do. We can't speed up its growth. We can nurture it, we can look after it, but essentially it's in the soil and we can't see it. So for some of us, you may have experienced a brand new opportunity or something new might have come into your life under this eclipse. However, for probably most of us, I would imagine, we were just planting seeds. Some little seed has been planted and it's going to take a while to see how it sprouts. In the meantime, this is where we have to focus on maybe emotional and mental health a little bit. Eclipses can be very draining. They can zap our energy levels. They can make us feel tired, that kind of wired and tired feeling. We can feel extra sensitive. Stuff can bubble up from underneath the surface for us. It can be a very confronting time, and that's usually what we feel around the eclipse. And then as time passes, we're able to kind of reap the rewards and see where we have landed. I always like to think of eclipses as the hand of the universe coming down and kind of shaking things up, and everything's a mess. Maybe things have gotten moved around, we've been moved around, and it really takes time before we can get used to this new arrangement, this new kind of landscape that has been created for us. So just your reminder to be gentle, to look after yourself, to focus on getting yourself into a state of alignment and balance. And if you would like to work with these eclipse energies, because you absolutely can, all through the week and even next week and even in the week after, because they're so powerful, I do have an Aries solar eclipse ritual. So if you would like to do that, excuse me, I'll drop a link in the description box below. You can, of course, find it at foreverconscious.com as well. But this ritual is a great way to get yourself into balance and then to also do a little bit of intention setting, because eclipses, and especially solar eclipses, are a good time to start thinking about what seeds you want to plant moving forward. So if you haven't done that already, there's still plenty of time. So be gentle with yourself under these eclipse energies, because they can be very powerful. And if you weren't feeling up to doing the ritual last week, it's there for you this week if you would like. Also, the universe is not giving us much rest, because we are now moving toward the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction. This is one of the most exciting events of 2024. So let me just tell you, 2024, the two big standout months, April and October. These are just two big months in the year. where we're getting a lot of transformation, a lot of shift, a lot of stuff going on. In October, we have more eclipses, plus we have some other stuff, which I won't get into. And then in April, of course, we have this big solar eclipse, and now we're working with Jupiter and Uranus. So what energy is that? Jupiter and Uranus have actually been kind of lightly in operation since last year. So probably since the end of last year, even the start of this year, we've already kind of been in this work. Now on April 20th, we're going to really feel the peak, the highest activation of this energy, and we'll continue to work with this energy all the way through until probably May, and then it will start to kind of fade into the background a little bit. So what is this energy and how can we work with it and what do we need to know? So Jupiter and Uranus come together every 14 years or so. The last time was in 2010 and they came together, well, they kind of danced between Pisces and Aries. And then this year they're meeting in the sign of Taurus, and Jupiter and Uranus are going to come together in the sign of Taurus. So Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Uranus is the planet of innovation, awakening, surprise, change, doing things differently, stepping outside the box. So Jupiter and Uranus coming together, Jupiter being the planet of expansion, is going to expand all of those Uranus themes. Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Uranus is that out of the box thinker, the change, the innovation, the entrepreneurial spirit. And Jupiter is going to come in and expand all of that. What does that mean? That means we are really being encouraged to step out of the box, to think differently, to do something different, to practice being in alignment with our true authentic self, even if it doesn't go with the status quo, even if it's not what society tells us. It's about kind of recognizing your true authentic self. One of the highest energetic octaves of Uranus energy is freedom. So it's that freedom to be ourselves, that freedom to think how we want to think, to live life how we want to live life. And then Jupiter's coming in and expanding that for us, making it extra important to be authentic, to feel free, to do things differently. This can be a little bit of a volatile energy, but what it promises is this, because Jupiter is not just the planet of expansion, Jupiter is also the planet of silver linings and abundance. And so it's almost like if we do something different than we've done before, if we allow ourselves to think differently, if we allow ourselves to get that entrepreneurial spirit rising up, if we allow ourselves to awaken and be open to change and see things differently, we're going to get that silver lining. We're going to get that abundance. We're going to get those gifts that Jupiter has for us. It's this beautiful dynamic of kind of rewards, which is that Jupiter energy, with thinking outside the box, doing things differently, being open to change, being open to spontaneity. That's the Uranus energy. And it's sort of like when we can embrace that, we receive some sort of gift. We receive some kind of reward, some silver lining, which comes in there with Jupiter. On a global level, we can see some strange weather patterns. Whenever Uranus is involved, think like earthquakes and strange weather patterns. And again, Jupiter is going to be expanding on that. Also, because they're coming together in Taurus, Taurus rules over things like on a global level, finances, and Uranus rules over technology. And then we also have the environment. So we've kind of got these three themes that we might see coming up in the media: the environment, technology, finances, maybe a merging of the two. Taurus also rules over agriculture, farming, food supply. So these might be things that we see happening in the media stories around these topics under this alignment. All alignments have a range of time before we can kind of see how they're manifesting in our lives. So we're dealing with a 14-year cycle, right? Because Jupiter and Uranus come together every 14 years. So the general rule is it takes till we're about halfway through the cycle to really start to understand, to really see in clarity what this alignment is bringing our way. So 7 years. So if you are good at keeping journals and keeping track of things, write down what's going on for you right now under this energy, and then see in 7 years how that has manifested, how that has shifted in your life. And if that sounds way too long of a time frame, and I totally understand it is, you could even do a shorter time frame, couple of months, maybe a couple of years even, to sort of see how embracing those ideas, those Uranus ideas of thinking out of the box and doing things differently, embracing that, and then seeing how that brings gifts and abundance your way. So, a beautiful energy to work with. Yes, it's a little volatile. Uranus is the planet of change. So, it could be sudden change or something taking us by surprise. Uranus is also the planet of surprise. And don't forget, Jupiter's expanding on all of its themes. So it could also be because it's in Taurus, we could find it in our own lives around money, finances, our career. Can filter into other areas too, but that's and our relationships, because Taurus is a Venus sign, so that's where we might see it manifesting for us. Also, I want to offer this one final thing I'll say about Jupiter and Uranus is that it falls on what is known as the white dove degree. Every degree of the zodiac has a little symbol attached to it, and this is the white dove degree. And the white dove symbolizes our divine messenger, our spirit guides, our angels, always looking out for us. So I think the fact that this alignment falls on this degree indicates to me, anyway, that there is some divine protection at play. There is some sign or clues or messages, divine messages from the universe that we can pay attention to, especially around this time. So that's April 20th is when we're experiencing the peak of this. However, like I said, it's already kind of been bubbling in the underworks, and then we'll be working with it until probably around mid-May before it starts to really fade away. So I hope you found that helpful. Lots of energies going on this week with that solar eclipse energy still lingering. We're also moving into Taurus season on April 19th, 20th. That depends on your time zone. And then right after we move into Taurus season, we're getting this alignment of Jupiter and Uranus in Taurus as well. So if you want to know more about anything I've talked about today, head over to foreverconscious.com. Your monthly forecast is up. Plus, if you want to dive deeper into the Jupiter-Uranus energies, I have an article about that as well. So check that out, and I'll put the links in the description box below. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.